morning and welcome to another booktube video, a Friday reading vlog from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. Beautiful bright day out there. I keep having these beautiful bright days. It is much colder than it was last week. So last week when we went on a lovely long walk with my mum and dad, it was spring and now it is bright winter. It was 7 degrees yesterday and according to my weather app it felt like -3, which is a bit of a shock, particularly when you've had like a sort of 15-degree previous weekend. So here we are. We are going on another walk today. Hurrah. We're having another dinner today out of a special book. Hurrah. And it's now 8:30 on Friday morning. David and I have just woken up. David is making us pack lunch to take on our walk today. And I am about to pick something to wear. It rained and hailed a little bit yesterday. And the walk we're doing today is through a country park. So there will be paths, but there'll also be potentially places where they're going to be a little bit muddy. So I need to have a little think about that. So I'm going to get my clothes together. Then I'll eat my pain au chocolat for breakfast. And then I think once I'm dressed, I'll meet you in the lounge and I'll talk through the walk, the meal, the reading, etc, etc. So yeah, let me pick something to wear that's sensible and I'll see you in there. Hello! We're ready. Well, we're nearly ready. David's in the shower. But I've got the old bits that I like to do at the top of the video to do, haven't I? So, we're going for a walk today, exciting. But first of all, let us ask, because I forgot this last week, didn't I, until sort of like towards the end. So at the beginning of each of these Friday reading vlogs, I asked a bookish question. And then you guys can answer it in the comments and I answer it at the end of the video. The question today is, what character or author would be the librarian in your personal literary paradise? What character or author would be the librarian in your personal literary paradise? Interesting. And we shall answer that at the end. We'll also be ending with a poem for every spring day because despite it feeling like -3 outside, it is spring. I've worn today I don't think I'm going to take a coat, so I've worn today 2 long sleeve tops and a little pretty scarf. And I've got a hat and we'll be moving all the time, so I don't know whether or not to pack a jacket. We shall see, but yeah, I don't plan, maybe, I don't know. So there we go. So we will be having tonight when we get in, so the plans for the rest of the weekend are go for the walk at Lullingstone today, we'll go over that in a minute. And then on the way back, oh, good reminder, Lauren, I need to stop in at my mum and dad's because I've got a crochet project that I need my mum to help me finish off. Then tonight, I've got the All About the Archers, which is a podcast that I make about the radio soap, The Archers. We've got a Patreon event at 7:30, so I need to have dinner before 7:30. That will go on for an hour. And then after that, maybe David and I will continue to watch. We're watching on Disney Plus at the moment, Say Nothing, which is first of all, gotta let the cat out because she's digging. You mustn't dig. Out you go. You mustn't dig. Bye. Bye, Diggy. I read a book at the beginning of the month called Say Nothing by Patrick Radden Keefe about the Troubles in Northern Ireland and in the 70s and up to modern day really. And when I mentioned it to my cousin Laura, queen of all recommendations, she said, oh, there's a series about that on Disney Plus and it's a dramatised series of it. And we've watched 3 episodes and we're quite into that. So probably carry on watching that. Tomorrow, David's got some baking and making to do because it's we're celebrating his sister's birthday and he wants to bake a few bits. So we're doing that, and then in the evening we're going to my sister's for a takeaway. So a bit of a chiller day tomorrow, some more reading probably tomorrow. I should also do some chores. But yeah, but tonight is when we get back from the walk, because the walk is a shorter-ish one. It's an hour and 45. Pop in at my mum and dad's and then have this dinner before I do my Patreon live show. This is one that I've been really looking forward to. And it is meatball sandwich, pickled cabbage, chopped salad and banana ice cream. So, oh, I've needed to put the bananas in the freezer. That's annoying, I haven't got any bananas to put in the freezer. I'll have to do that when I get back. How long do they? At least 6 hours. That's not gonna have happened, is it? So no banana ice cream for us, which, I mean, David wouldn't have eaten it anyway. So, but yeah, so I need to get the bits for this. And I'm going to, this is gonna be a sort of like I said, like I'm cooking things from this book on a Friday night to have a Friday night dinner. but sometimes they'll have meat in them and I don't eat meat. So for instance here, instead of all of the ingredients you need to make the meatballs, I'm just simply going to buy pre-made veggie meatballs. Probably the corn Swedish ones, because they're the ones I like the best. So yeah, there'll be a lot less labour, I think, with this one. And it serves 4 to 6, so we'll have some today and some tomorrow for lunch. But I need to make a note of what I need to get from that. And then, like I said, we're doing a walk today. We're going to Lullingstone Country Park. We're going with my friend Emma, which will be lovely. Now, we did a version of this walk a couple of years ago. A long time ago, because my niece wasn't even here. So I'd say a couple of years ago, over 5 years ago. And sort of walked around that area with my family. So some of it's going to be familiar. And the reason we've taken packed lunch today is because, one, packed lunch is delicious, but also because we don't go past any sort of, I mean, there's a visitor centre, so there may well be a cafe there, but it doesn't look as though there's anywhere to go and eat. But I do like to take a packed lunch, and David was very excited about taking a packed lunch, so he is the packed lunch boy, and he's made the packed lunch for today. So we're going to do that. So we're picking up my friend Emma at 10 o'clock. I think it's probably about 9:30 now, so we need to leave soon. And then we're going to go and do that walk, which will be lovely. It takes 1 hour and 45 minutes. It's 6.5k. And yeah, apparently there's lots of benches and stuff, picnic benches around and things like that, so we'll be able to enjoy that. So that is that. That's the walk. And then the reading, I'm actually sort of in the middle of reading. I've got no reading plans, so I've picked some reading plans. I am listening to the audiobook of Somewhere Else by Jenny Deitch, which is on the Women's Prize for Fiction long list, because that's what's happening at the moment. I am about 2.5 hours into it. Previously, I was talking to somebody on Instagram about this yesterday, and I was saying I had no sort of thoughts on it. But last night when I was making dinner and listening, I was like, oh yeah, maybe I am getting into this. So it's about a Scottish Judeo family, and we sort of really just skipped a lot of time. So I'm interested where it's going after we've just skipped a huge amount of time, to see what's happening with this family. But yeah, I wonder what will happen, because I'm only 2 hours in, it's about 12 hours long. So I'm going to start today and take this with me, whether or not I actually get a chance to do much reading, because like I said, my friend Emma will be with us as well as David. So if it was just David and it was lunchtime, then maybe I would read a little bit as I was eating my lunch. But because we've got a friend there as well, we'll probably have to socialise, but it comes with me regardless. And I've got Birding by Rose Ruane on it. I was really looking forward to this, coming of age, exciting, not too long, 272, great front cover. I mean, imagine that in colour, lovely. And then I saw Mercedes' review of it, where she was a bit unsure about it, and then that same person that I was talking to yesterday on Instagram also said that they've got thoughts, and I don't know if they're good thoughts or bad thoughts. So Birding will be started today, and then away from the Women's Prize for Fiction, I've got quite a few new releases out from the library at the moment, down there. I did a library haul, I'll link that down below, and a few of them have got a lot of reservations on and are due back soon, and I will not be able to renew them. One of which being The Sirens by Amelia Hart. Now, I put a reservation on this because I wanted to read it, and it's worked out wonderful, because I'm the first person to have it, but there's no point me not reading this because there's other Women's Prize stuff going on, because I will have to give this back and then I would have wasted my £1.10. I won't get it again for another couple of months. So yeah, I've had to just have a little shove aside of the Women's Prize reading, because I need to read this. And there's also need to read Victorian Psycho and Blob, because they've got a lot of reservations on as well. So she'll be filtering in a little bit of non-Women's Prize fiction, non-Women's Prize for Fiction reading. But yeah, it's going quite well with the actual Women's Prize for Fiction. Anyway, I feel very warm in all my layers. So I think I will go and plot the route on my Ordnance Survey map, because I take it from here and I plot it on the Ordnance Survey map. And then write a list of what I need, get my crochet blanket out that I need to show my mother, and get ready to go. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 9:34 AM.
We said we'd leave at 22, so I've got 6 minutes to do all those things. I believe in me. Good morning. We've just arrived. The first thing we do was join the riverside path. Can't see the river. I assure you it's there. And then leave the country park. It's quite muddy. Not super muddy, but quite muddy, and I agonised over whether or not to take a coat, and at the moment I feel like I might have made the wrong decision, but we've only just set off. Quite a big ascent today, 476 feet. I didn't know whether or not to tell David about that, but we're off, and that will keep me warm, I'm sure. I've got cold hands though. So we're walking towards a Roman villa, which I went on a school trip on when I was younger, so that's exciting. But we're off.
If you want to check that, oh, you're still filming?
I'm just filming the B-roll. It's a lovely camera, David. This is Lullingstone Castle. Sadly, it's closed today. It's pretty impressive looking. I like a red brick building. Yeah, and then there's a nice house in there. Does it say?
Yeah. Oh no. 11 AM. Oh, that's
It's a
what I like.
nice. Oh, April. We're off peak, guys. This might be the walled garden you were speaking of, Emma. The views here are amazing, and there's a viaduct there. Look how cool that is. I think we do another walk where we walk by the viaduct on another day. But my God, beautiful. But we are still walking upwards, and because I've been taking photos and stuff, David and Emma are all the way up there, and I'm all the way back here. But it's lovely. Sun's out, so I've warmed up a bit. Just the views and being outside, such a treat. Such a treat. So we're ending the end of the walk now, and the plan was to sort of sit at a bench halfway round and have a bit of lunch, but the bench that we came across was the first bench we came across. It wasn't even 12 yet, and we were like, we're not ready for lunch yet. So we've walked more, and we came across another bench in some woodlands, but it was drenched, so we were like, well, we won't sit there. And then we've carried on walking, and we're now like half a mile from where we started, and we know that there was lots of picnic benches there, so we've carried bags full of lunch the whole way around with us, only to now go and sit by the car and eat. So yeah, we had a little bit of hail, which was quite exciting, but otherwise the weather stayed good. Yeah, it's been nice. This has been very country park type walk. I haven't been through any villages and seen many buildings. A little bit of water to start with, but yeah, it's been much the same sort of this sort of thing the whole time. We walked alongside a golf course for a bit, and I was talking in my loud voice, and David and Emma had to keep saying, shh, they're playing golf. I didn't know you had to be shh when you're playing golf. So yeah, so now it's time for sandwiches, hula hoops, an apple, a cup of tea and some water, before stopping at a supermarket on the way home to get the bits for meatball sandwiches, and then home for the evening. So let's go and eat lunch. I'm ready for lunch now. Oh, the sun's just come out again. Oh, that was nice, wasn't it? It was a bit... I think we were spoilt by last week's walk, which was a bit of everything. It was long. We stopped for lunch halfway round. Lovely. But this week was... It started off gorgeous, and you would have seen the views of the viaduct and the castle and stuff like that. And then once we got to that up point, we sort of turned our back on all of that. And then the rest of it was sort of downhill through woodlands and muddy woodlands. We walked a little bit alongside a golf course, but yeah, I think in terms of sort of views, it delivered quite early on, and then the rest of it there wasn't all that much going on. Yeah, it was still lovely, and it was nice to have a little lunch at the end. And then we stopped at a oh my God, David! And then we stopped at a Waterstones, Waitrose on the way home, and got the few bits of dinner. And I said we needed some more. We wanted some bath salts, because when we've been on these walks, because we're not used to like this sort of level of movement, we had some bath salts, which I'd bought before to make some bath salts for people, and I quickly realised that no one likes bathing as much as David and I do. So we bought these ones. Oh, maybe you don't open them like that. And there was 3 options. They were £4.50 each. They're all these Epsom bath salts. This one is with eucalyptus and ginger, and I can smell it through the packaging and it smells lovely. And this is for muscle ease, which is what we feel like happens to us after we've been on a walk. We feel like our legs sort of seize up a little bit. But there was also calm, and there was also post-workout. And I sort of said, oh, do you think we need the post-workout ones? Thinking that an hour and 45-minute walk counts as a workout. But yeah, there was a lot of uphill bits today. Oh my God, they smell lovely. God, they really makes the old glands go. God, that's gorgeous. Eucalyptus is very nice. Oh, that's gonna clear you out as well. Lovely. So yeah, so we bought that, and I'm about to go and get in the bath now, which feels super early, but because of the way the rest, hello Daffy, because of the way the rest of the day is gonna work out, as in like, we need to have an early dinner, I need to be online at 7:15 to do my Patreon event, because, and then after that, that for us is too late for dinner or for baths. Then we need to go and have a bath now, and then we're going to watch maybe another episode of Say Nothing before we head to sleep, because we'll be so tired. But I'm aware this is a Friday reading vlog, and I've done literally no reading. So I'm now going to go to the bath with my new salts and start Birding by Rose Ruane. So when you next see me, I won't be in my pyjamas because I need to get into my All About the Archers garb. But I might be in pyjamas with my All About the Archers hoodie on top. I think I will do that. And then just brush my hair. But yeah, I'll see you then, and I'll let you know how the first... Will she get through 10% of birding? Maybe. I'll let you know how that's all going. So yeah, see you then. Oh. So I am going to wear pyjamas, put my All About the Archers hoodie on top. That's what I'm going to do. Right, so a lot of these things, I didn't have to get a lot of the ingredients because they were making meatballs for the dinner, which is going to be meatball sandwich with pickled cabbage, a chopped salad, and banana ice cream. No banana ice cream. I'm not making the meatballs because they're making them out of meat, and I don't eat meat. So we've got vegetarian meatballs. We got them from Waitrose. I've not had them before, so I'll be interested to see what these ones are like. They didn't have the corn ones that I normally have. These are called Waitrose Plant Living No Meat Meatballs. Succulent and perfectly seasoned, made with soya protein and onion. So we'll see how they work out. I hope you cook them from frozen. Keep frozen. Yeah, you oven cook them from frozen for 23 minutes. So that is different to how this menu's going to work out. So I'll pop the oven on now. And I'll get all the rest of the bits out. So as well as the meatballs, I also need 2 ciabatta loaves. Those 2. And 4 slices of Jarlsberg cheese. Now they didn't have the Jarlsberg, but they had what I imagine to be almost identical with Lid Arma, which is holy nutty cheese. And I'm going to celebrate that by having a slice right now. Oh, it's an unusual shape. I do love I used to hate cheese like this, but now it's really fast becoming a favourite. Right, the cabbage is half a small red cabbage. This was the smallest one I could get. A red onion. A small bunch of fresh mint. More cheese. 1 fresh red chilli, not putting that in. 2 lemons. One, 2. Then the chopped salad involves... Oh, let me put that in here. The chopped salad involves half a cucumber, 2 tomatoes, half a cucumber, 2 tomatoes, 2 avocados. That cheese is really nice. 2 avocados, a handful of fresh basil leaves. I bought an entire basil plant in order to make it last longer, because I find packaged basil doesn't last very long at all. So I'll water that now. Basil leaves. A bag of pre-washed Italian leaf salad. So I didn't have that. So I've got mixed salad on the top of the yogurt, which has gone funny. I haven't got any English mustard, so I'm going to use David's disgusting squeezy French mustard. Well, I mean, it tastes lovely. Some red wine vinegar. We're getting to the end of that actually, we'll need some more of that. And feta. And then olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper. Olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I think I've got a little bit more. I think David bought a new one of those. And then salt and black pepper. Salt and pepper. And then, like I said, we're not doing the... David doesn't like banana ice cream anyway, so he wasn't up for it. And then I had to have put the bananas in the freezer 6 hours before we were going to eat it, and I knew it wasn't going to work out. So, no banana ice cream. So yeah, and this is going to be a sort of cobbled together one, but I wanted to show you ways in which, like, although I'm going to be making one of these every Friday night when I'm doing my vlogs, I'm going to be adapting them to fit the fact that I don't eat meat, and adapting this one to fit the fact that David wouldn't eat that banana ice cream. There's no point making ice cream for 6 people when David's not going to eat it. So we've got them corners for lunch, which would be nice. For lunch, for afters, which would be nice. Right. Anyway, let's crack on then. Chopped salad. It's not as glam as normal, is it? Chopped salad, and then we've got, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. These are the, oh, I'm in the light. Meatballs, like subs with this, with the Jarlsberg, which melted lovely, and red cabbage. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. It's not as glam as usual. And we are watching Nicola McPeak. Oh, David stood right in the way. We asked a few people about vlogs of non-annoying people that have been on cruises, and we found Nicola McPeak. And we're enjoying that. I'll link that down below if people would like to go and check that out. But yeah, Dabby's just there. And we're going to eat. And then it will nearly be time for All About the Archers time. It was lovely, really lovely. David wasn't mad on the chopped salad. He said it was a bit more avocado-y than he was used to. God, this is such a mess around here. Luckily, we'll just be filming this way. Yeah, it was lovely. I wouldn't say it was sort of dinner size, if I'm being honest. But luckily, David bought a pack of donuts earlier, so he can have a donut. I'm going to have a Muller corner after I've done my live show. But anyway, it's going to be a bit of a rush now because I've got to get prepped for it. Hair down, hoodie on. But I'll see you the other side, and then I'll talk to you about how I've been finding birding, and also Somewhere Else, which is the book I've been listening to. But yeah, I'm going to go and do my live show now. Brush this for hair through. Oh, there we go. That was lovely. I've just finished now. Very enjoyable, and yeah, it's lovely. It's so all about the Archers. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, and I will link the YouTube channel down below. But we do a accompanying podcast to the Archers radio soap that's been going on for, it'll be 75 years in January. And yeah, we've been doing this for like 18 months now, and it's lovely. And we've got a little Patreon page where we give our Patreons a live show. Here comes my husband. Give our Patreons a live... Are you making tea, David?
Yeah.
I've got my All About the Archers mug here if you'd like to...
Pardon?
I've got my All About the Archers mug there if you'd like to. Can I have a sleepy tea? Very good. Yeah, and we do a seasonal live show and talk about the week, and it's just nice. It's just nice to do that. And I guess now would be a time to talk about, I've got a Patreon as well if you're interested. If you'd like to join a monthly book club, whereby we read a book and discuss it in a live show on the last Sunday of every month. This month we are talking about Frankie by Graham Norton. And next month, I haven't checked what was one yet. I need to check what was one, but it's either The Persians or Fundamentally. I think Fundamentally was winning, and the theme for April is Women's Prize long list books. So yeah, and I always link everything down below for that if you would like that. It's $5 a month to join a book club, and it's lovely. It's like, I really look forward to it. At the end of every month, I'm like, book club is coming. Yeah, so now David's making me a cup of tea, and then I'm going to go and sit on the sofa, and we're going to watch The One Show, because Ollie Ricks is on it, who was previously in Call the Midwife, and is now... He's joined Casualty, and the first episode of Casualty that he's going to be in is on tomorrow. So we're going to watch that. We were halfway through that... I'm going to have my yogurt as well. We were halfway through that cruising episode, so we're going to, on YouTube, we're going to watch that. And yeah, and then I'll go to bed, and I think I'll talk about the books with you, because I said I was going to do that. So yeah, shut down my computer and get ready. Oh, I'm in bed in my hoodie. I feel really cold. It's 5 to 10, which is a lovely time to be in bed on a Friday night, because it means I can read. So we ended up watching the end of the vlog episode. I've put Daffy's toy on top of her scratch post, and she's really trying. Come on, Daffy, you can do it. She's really trying to get it. Can you do it, Dup? She cannot do it. Well, she's still trying. She's still having a look. Go on, Daphne, I believe in you. Yeah, so we watched the end of that vlog, and then I just thought, no, I don't want to put an episode of anything on. I'm going to go to bed and read. So I said I'd update you on how Birding by Rose Ruane is. I've read 9%. I'm really enjoying it so far. The first page I was like, oh, is this going to be a bit flowery for me in terms of descriptive language? But then I'd like settled into it almost instantly. It's probably the setting. So it's set in a sort of tired and old British seaside town, of which I live nearby one. So I sort of know, and also visit them quite often. David and I are big sort of like seaside in the winter lovers. We quite like going for walks along the beach in the winter. And this is following a seaside town whereby no one visits sort of outside the April to October period, and it's quite old and tired. And you hear in that first chapter, might be the prologue, about this place and how sort of old and tired it is. And it all felt very familiar to me. And now we've gone on to the second chapter, and we've met a mother-daughter situation who seem as though, at the moment I've literally read like 3 pages on them, but it seems as though there's not many other people in their lives maybe, and they are at the moment reenacting an interaction they had with somebody else earlier on in the day when they were maybe buying like a China doll or something. She's going up for it again. Can you do it, Dap? No. But it's good to challenge yourself, isn't it, Daphne? Yeah, it is. But yeah, I'm going to carry on reading that. I will. But I wanted to make a start on the Sirens by Amelia Hart. As I said, this is one that's due back at the library. Not on the 28th of March, but I'm aware that I've got 3 that are due back that time. And they all need to be back around that time. The font in this is huge. I'm like, it really is quite big. So maybe this won't take as long as it looks like it will. It's about 361 pages. But yeah, for a hardback, the font's really big. So I'm gonna make a start on this at least. Oh, I've got to get a glass of water so I can take my tablets. Do you think David will get me a glass? I should just get up and get one really, shouldn't I? But I just wanted to show you. At work the other day, on Amazon, we ordered a HDMI cable. And the next day, when the delivery came, the outside of the box said sleep mask. And I thought, that's a weird thing to put a HDMI cable in. And I said to my colleague, this box says sleep mask. And he said to me, no, I definitely saw you press HDMI cable. So I opened it and lo and behold, there was a sleep mask in there. And I went on the orders and thought, no, I definitely ordered a HDMI cable. So I said, so I got in touch with them and said, I've ordered a HDMI cable, but you've sent me a sleep mask. And they just said they'd replace the HDMI cable and not to send the sleep mask back. So here I am, the owner of a sleep mask. And I wore it last night and David said I was asleep within moments of popping this on. And it is it's a really good blackout one. And it does feel quite comfy. Apparently on the box it said it was specifically for side sleepers, of which I am of the side sleeping persuasion. But yeah, so there I was. But I did wake up in the night and felt completely sort of suffocated by the whole thing, because it is a quite tight fit. And I yanked it off and left it on the side. But yeah, I fell asleep almost instantly with it on. My cousin Laura's got such a lovely sleep mask that looks like this big sort of like headband that goes all the way around, and it looks as though it really sort of holds your head and stuff. So, but yeah, I've dabbled with sleep masks before and never had a good time. Normally because the strap at the end doesn't hold it on and it sort of sags behind. But this is a good strap, so maybe I'll try it again tonight. And see how I get on with that. But yeah, what's the weirdest thing you've been sent when you've ordered something else? But yeah, I was pleased that I had ordered a HDMI cable when I looked, because I was like, how on earth have I got that so wrong that I've ordered a sleep mask instead of a HDMI cable? So there we go. She's got herself a sleep mask. Right, okay, gonna do a little bit of reading. I will go and get myself a glass of water so I can take my tablets. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow with maybe a little bit more of an update on books and things. Still listening to Somewhere Else, by the way. I need to check that that's what it's called. Somewhere Else by Jenny Deitch, which to start with I was a bit like, oh, am I enjoying this? I don't know. But now I am quite into it. Now we've got into, so it sort of establishes, at the beginning I didn't know who was important and who wasn't, and now it seems as though we've got to the top of that hill of like, we've built the world, we've built the characters and the plot, the set and all of this, and now we know where we're going to go. And it looks as though the place where we're going to go is this sort of women's clinic open in Scotland in the late 1920s to help women who don't want to have babies all the time because they can't get their hand on birth control, and for women's health reasons and things like that. So, and it also looks as though there's sort of like themes of being Jewish and things in there as well. So yeah, that has sort of settled for me and I'm enjoying that now. I'm glad I persevered, because after the first hour I was like, nah, I don't like this. So yeah, anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Night, night. Morning. Morning. David's just made me a cup of tea in my favourite "These Boots Are Made for Dancing" mug. These boots are made for dancing. And I'm just going to sit and drink that and read the Sirens. I read a little bit of the Sirens last night, 28 pages. I'm going to read a little bit more with my tea. And also read a bit more of Birding as I was going to sleep, which I'm very much enjoying. You're hearing from two separate, I mean, I'm still only 15% in, so there might be more to come, but I'm enjoying hearing from two separate duos of women. So we're hearing from two sisters who used to be in a relatively successful sort of pop act called the Lollies. We're also hearing from a mother and daughter who dress the same and are a bit unusual, let's say. But yeah, enjoying that a lot. Things to do today on Saturday. I've crocheted this blanket. Little tiny blanket because my sister's had a baby. So I've made this. I sort of wish, so in terms of a present, the nursery is going to be safari themed. So I got this, which is very cute. Little bit of safari bunting. Very cute. And I thought, oh, I'll do a little safari blanket to go with it. And picked the colours that I've picked because I thought, oh yeah, that would be sort of safari themed. But I do really wish I'd also incorporated a grey in this, that's sort of like the elephant colour. I haven't. Anyway, the beauty of this is that I can make this bigger sort of every year. So I'm going to give it to her today and see if she wants it any bigger, because I can make it bigger. But I've got a lot of finishing off. You might not be able to say, oh yeah, you can. Like lots of these little bits that I need to finish off. So my mum gave me a little plastic needle yesterday. I'm going to do that. So I've got to do that before I give that to her today, because we're going around there for a takeaway tonight. So that's exciting, isn't it? A new baby. My niece is doing very well with the baby. They're good pals already. And yeah, and I've been using this wool called Change It Up. It's Aran wool, and it's made from recycled bottles, and it's so soft. And the cream one has like flecks of black through it. The yellow one has flecks of cream and black through it. And the sort of rust coloured one has flecks of cream and black through it. But yeah, very impressed with that. And I did it, it's just a big granny square, and I did it with a 5, that's not true, yeah, 5. Hello. Good to see you. You interested? Oh, look at this big dollop. This is the colour grey I would have liked in it. Gonna make some wool out of your fluff. Oh, you're sort of attached to me there, aren't you? There we go. Yeah, so I need to finish that off before I see her tonight, so that's one thing. Gonna have the leftovers from last night's dinner. We're gonna have that for breakfast with some pitters, and I might fry an egg for David. I might fry an egg for me. I don't know how I feel about that. We've got to do some chores. I'm gonna wash the bed sheets. David's gonna polish and hoover throughout. I'm gonna clean the bathrooms. I've really got to put away all my clothes. I'm looking to the lettings. This is where my floor drobe is. David's gonna make some gochujang cornbread and some sausage rolls, because we're going out for his sister's birthday tomorrow. And then we're going to go over to my sister's for a takeaway tonight. And we were just wondering whether or not we're going to go for a little walk first, which would be nice. So that's the plan. But the real plan for now is to just sit and read and drink my tea. And then we'll get on with the day. Won't we, Daps? Won't we? We will. You coming over? Hello. Hello, my pretty. There's a tail. Hello, my pretty girl. Hello. You do like us a bit more now. Oh, you're so lovely. We love you. the house looks gorgeous. And that was a lot in part to David. Both of our hard work. So David's now just doing a bit of baking and I'm just popping the washing out. And I always sort of moan when we've got washing out, but it does feel productive when you've got washing out. And we'll be going out in a couple of hours, so by the time tomorrow morning rolls round, this will all be dry, I should think. That's the joy of having a heated airer, because that just means that it will be really warm in here tonight and it costs pence to run, so all the rest of it will dry. But we are quickly exiting heated airer season because it will soon be too hot for us to have the heated airer on. But yeah, I've read a little bit more of the Sirens. Doing okay. It's a little bit like Wayward in terms of, like, we've got women in one century and women in another century for the same things, and it's to do, I think we're linking in with, it's going to link in with mermaids somewhere, and I mean the front cover sort of gives that away anyway. But yeah, there's talk, and one of the characters has got a fear of water. I think that's what's going on. So yeah, so once I put this washing out, I'm going to sit down and read for a little bit longer. And I'll do my hair about 3ish because we've got to be to my sister's at 4. Hopefully by then David will have done his baking and I can have a little bit of cornbread. And all will be well. Tights. We can go on here. David's jumper with loads of bubbles under the arm. So yeah, feels very Sunday-ish, but it is in fact Saturday. But I quite like that. Because tomorrow is a busier day. So tomorrow, Sunday, will feel like a Saturday. So we've got it all over the place this week. There we go. Right, let's go and do a bit more reading. Good evening. Oh, it's dark, isn't it? Let's see if I can do something about that. Alexa, turn on living room. That's better, isn't it? It's Sunday night. And we spent the day at a beach hut for David's sister's birthday, and it was so cold that we've all reported that we're feeling sort of beyond exhausted because of how cold it is. We've just got home and I'm making chowder for dinner, and we're gonna watch something, I don't know what, something that involves little to no brain power, and edit this video to get it up for you on Sunday night. So I hope you've enjoyed the old Friday reading vlog. The only thing we've got left to do is answer the question, and also read a poem from every spring day. You can hear, that's my courgette and sweet corn just going bonkers in there. Might go and stir that, and then I'll be back to answer the question. The question is, what character or author would be the librarian in your personal literary paradise? Just going to stir me sweet corn, then I'll be back to answer that question. I'm back to let you know, I'd probably go for an author for this, and I'd probably go for Juno Dawson. So Juno has written one of my favourite, more recent series of books. The last one comes out this year, the HMRC series, which is about a group of modern witches living in Hebden Bridge. But I've read other books by Juno, including a non-fiction book called The Gender Games. And I love the sort of references that she makes to things that I think we're of the same age and we had similar interests. So there's a lot of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer references, and there's a lot of Spice Girl references and things like that. And I just think having someone who has similar pop culture excitement markers, as what I do, would therefore be a great librarian for me and would curate my personal literary paradise in the way that I would like that curated. So yeah, I will go for Juno Dawson. Which character or author would be the librarian in your personal literary paradise? Interested to hear. So today is the 16th of March. It's the day before St. Patrick's Day, so let's see if we've got a St. Patrick's Day poem today. I'd like it if there was. Go Catch a Falling Star by John Donne, or Toad by Norman MacCaig. Let's go for Toad, because I got very excited that in my local pond we've got a lot of frogs. So our pond got dried out and in a local green area to me, got completely dried out and just become a sort of dumping ground and gathering ground for teenagers and people on bikes and smokers and all of that sort of thing. And recently they cleared the whole thing up, and it's been gradually filling with water. And when David and I walked past the other day, I noticed that there was frog spawns in there and frogs, and I was so excited because it means that we've finally got some wildlife back in that pond. So I'll go for toad, because I was like, I don't know if they're frogs or toads, but I've since found out that they are frogs. But let's go for toad. So this is by Norman MacCaig, who's a Scottish poet who often wrote about the natural world and animals, such as the toad in this poem. This poem's positivity is a refreshing way to look at a creature that is often regarded as ugly or even scary. I think them not ugly or scary, I think them great. Stop looking like a purse. How could a purse squeeze under a rickety door and sit full of satisfaction in a man's house? You clamber towards me on your four corners, right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. I love you for being a toad, for crawling like a Japanese wrestler, and for not being frightened. I put you in my purse, hand not shutting it, and set you down outside directly under every star. A jewel in your head? Toad, you've put one in mine. A tiny radiance in a dark place. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me for another Friday reading vlog. Hopefully you enjoyed the dinner. Hopefully you enjoyed the walk. And yeah, I'm going to go and eat some chowder, slob in front of the telly, and yeah, I'll see you all again soon for another Richard video. Goodbye.